Hi everybody, just waiting for my flight here, and I just thought I should jump on here, just tell you a story about things that have shocked me as an immigrant, things that have shocked me since I left my country. I come from Zimbabwe in a town called Hwange. So this is where I grew up, this is where I studied my nursing, and this is where I worked. So I worked in Hwange as a nurse. Life was good. Life was good. Hwange Colliery Company, one of the best companies ever. So when I was there, I started thinking about migrating. And in my mind, I had my own imaginations on how life is gonna be. So as I was working in Hwange, there were so many benefits there that I left behind. So as a nurse, you used to get a house, no rent, no electricity bills. You used to get transported to and from work if you didn't have a car. And if you had helpers, you would have accommodation for your maid, accommodation for your garden boy, medical aid for the whole family, including your helpers. Yes, including your garden boy, including your maid. Yeah, so this is how life was. This may sound so silly, but each time when you got your paycheck, you'd be given an envelope with your electricity for the month. So all you did was just to punch the numbers on the meter and you have your electricity. The other thing that I found so interesting that I'm always sharing with people, and at times you'll think that this is just a fiction. Did you know that in Hwange Colliery Company, back in the days, even your light bulb, you would ring people to come and change it and tell them that, oh, it's no longer working. Can you change my light bulb? And then you just go to work. And when you come back, you'll find a new light bulb in the house. How about that? This is how life used to be. But things changed when inflation kicked in. Our salaries were cut off by half. So imagine from earning 700 US dollars to 350 US dollars. And they introduced this thing of working 2 weeks in, 2 weeks out. So you would work 2 weeks and then you get your salary, and then the other 2 weeks you are home. This didn't sit well with me because I had already built my type of lifestyle, earning 700 US dollars back then, before 2008. Man, that was good life. Like, you could send your children to private schools. My son was privileged. He went to a very good private school, one of the best private schools in Zimbabwe, I would say. This was in Hwange, Caulfield Primary School. Give it up to the school. Our country just went downhill. I saw a lot of changes happening even in our company. The motivation was low amongst the employees. I could see even the glamorous lifestyles shattering down. It was a very sad time. So this is how life has been then. So when this inflation happened, I was forced to look for other opportunities, other avenues. I went to Botswana. Botswana was amazing. The lifestyle, the quality of life is good over there. If you want to retire in Botswana, this is one of the areas I would recommend. I'm looking into it as well. So Botswana was good. The quality of life was good. The jobs were amazing, but I was paying rent. I had helpers, but I could not afford to accommodate them. They had to have somewhere where they live in, where they come from. Yeah, so the bills, yeah, it was a lot. Sorry, somebody just fell there, so I had to, panic and see what's happening, but they're just kidding. Anyway, yeah, so this is how it was in Botswana. I had to unlearn and learn new things, which was a bit difficult. It was a bit challenging, but as I stayed there longer, I found my pathway, I found my habits, I, discovered a few things here and there. And eventually, before I knew it, the quality of life was all right. I could not complain, but still there were things that I needed that Botswana could not offer. So in Botswana, the main thing that kicked me out was the immigration status. It was uncertain. Like, we would renew our visas every 2 to 3 years. So these were just work permits. These visas just allowed us to work, and the residency lasted for as long as the work permit lasted. So the 2 years, 3 years renewal was draining. It was exhausting. I needed a more stable immigration status, an immigration status where I would probably have a permanent residency that would eventually lead to citizenship. So these were some of the shocks of becoming an immigrant, you know. So these were the other challenges. So I had to, I had to think about moving. I had to think about another country which had a more stable immigration status. So I thought Ireland. And a shout out to my former colleagues in Botswana, Kiwane, Ivy, Teho, Anesu, Mamkoti, Ronika, Rachel, Sharon Svanda, Ohaufe, Kagisi, Busi Ngube, now in the UK. I think I've left a few, but shout out to you guys. You made my life in Botswana amazing. Mamukoti, I'll never forget you. You were very helpful through my journey of migration. I really appreciate your help and keep up the good work. You are a very kind person, Mamukoti. And also a big shout out to Oti Brodigan. Oti is one of my best friends, a Botswana lady, very humble, lovely, beautiful girl. I miss you, Oti. Yeah, so that was my life in Botswana. So I had to move again. I went to Ireland. More shock. More shock. Before I went to Ireland, I had my own expectations as usual. Just like when I moved from Zimbabwe to Botswana, I had expectations. So here I was in my own dreaming world, thinking this country is like this. I could not have helpers. I could not afford them. The helpers are there, maids are there, but I could not afford maids. This is when I gained knowledge that becoming a maid is actually a profession. Yeah, you have to have a pay slip. You need to pay this person. So I could not afford. So I had to balance between looking after my family and working. This was very difficult. It was just the pressure. It was just the pressure. It was non-stop. The early mornings, kids pick up, childcare, balancing between work and home, the laundry, the house chores. It was just endless. It was just endless. Like, it was stressful. And because now I'm in Ireland, the work system is different. In Zimbabwe, I don't remember a time when I did not go to work and did not get paid. But this is one of the shock that I came across. If you had sick leave, it was fine. If you had leave days, you could utilize them. But if you didn't have that, you don't get paid. So this was the other shock, being paid by an hour. This is something that we never got to do in Zimbabwe. I don't know if it's a new thing now in Zimbabwe. You can let me know in the comment section. But back then, whether you are sick, whether you are off, you just get paid. You just get paid. Yeah, so it was non-stop. It was non-stop. This was very, very difficult. So this was one of the shocks that I got when I was in Ireland. And the other shocking thing when I was in Ireland was the bills. Yeah, I know in Botswana there were bills. There were bills in Botswana, but Ireland was even worse. You had to pay for everything. We are used to rentals, yes, we are used to electricity bills, water bills, but the insurance for everything. Yeah, in Zimbabwe, car insurance, health insurance, but in Ireland, it's insurance for nearly everything. Your pets, your home, yeah, everything that you own, you have to insure, because if you lose a house, if you lose a home, I don't know, maybe I was naive when I was in Zimbabwe, probably because I didn't have a house. Maybe I was naive over there. Probably I didn't know that you could actually insure your house. But my parents had a house. I didn't remember them telling me that they are insuring the house. So there were more and more bills. I moved again to Australia. I'm chasing opportunities, guys. I'm thinking life is gonna get better somehow, somewhere. Yeah, but anyway, Australia and Ireland, similar. These are Western kind of, environments. These are Western countries. So they operate in a similar way. So I had to stop and think, I had to tell myself to say, you know what, this is my battle, this is what I've chosen. I somehow have to end up coming up with a plan. I had to, I had to come to terms with myself. I had to tell myself it is what it is. This is immigration. It's not the end of the world. So my mentality was moving overseas was going to make my life better, like in terms of everything. I thought it was going to be the easiest kind of lifestyle that I'll ever live in my life, yeah? But it turned out it had its own challenges. I needed to unlearn and learn other things. The question is, do I regret leaving? Do I miss home? Do I miss Zimbabwe? Sometimes, yes, I do. I realized that migration is not all about finding the perfect country, but migration is about finding the challenge that you are willing to stand with. It's about finding a country that suits your lifestyle, finding the country that meets up with your dreams, a country that matches up with my career ambitions, my family. Migration is about giving up something to gain another thing. If you don't move, you don't explore. If you don't explore, you limit your capabilities. You need to go beyond your capabilities. Let's find those opportunities. Let's keep hunting. One day it will work out.